seen this political cartoon?
Which one is that?
Doping, dope.
What's that? iPad, oh, the various
Little
iPads.
icon.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Ah. Have a seat over here.
Yeah, I kind of like this chair.
Oh, you like that one, huh?
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good
All
chairs.
right, all right. Sounds good to me. So the other day we were got a spot for your drink? All right there, huh? We were going through Kate's paperwork from her grade school when she
Yeah.
was growing up,
Yeah.
and we ran across, apparently she interviewed you back, oh, she was in grade school, so how many years would have that been? 10
Could've
years.
been 10 years
10
ago.
years ago,
So-
anyways.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of remember that. You know?
yeah. But one of the things that you had there is, I think, what was the question?
Who's the oldest person you've ever known?
So what?
I think it was who's the oldest person you've ever known, and you answered your grandfather.
On your mom's side, apparently.
Right. Yeah. He
That you saw him a lot.
He stayed with us probably a couple of summers.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did he live?
Well, of course, he was pretty much all over, but he had the farm. You know, he homesteaded with my mother.
Oh, that's right. He was neighbor, wasn't he?
And other than that, he was about everything they did in those days. All kinds of labor,
Yeah.
timber, lumberjacks, sailor. He was a sailor at one time. Shipwrecked in Alaska one time.
Well, now he was from Norway originally, huh?
Norway.
How did he end up being a sailor?
It's probably the only thing to do in Norway at that time. You know, adventure, I suppose. I don't know.
So he was a sailor at one time, but they were shipwrecked?
Shipwrecked in Alaska.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Like everybody went down with the ship?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Never talked about it.
Really?
We didn't know much about it.
He just said that they were shipwrecked,
They
though.
were shipwrecked.
Like a cargo ship, or?
I imagine it was,
Okay.
you know, that time.
We must have been in a lifeboat then, huh?
We never got much information,
Yeah.
you know. We were too young to really talk to them about it.
Yeah.
You know, ask questions, I guess.
Yeah.
And, no, didn't talk much about it.
Well,
she
Just a bad
wrote.
experience. It happens.
She wrote something about he was so cold. He dipped his hand.
Well, yeah, to keep his hands from freezing, he dipped them in water.
Hmm.
No. Any exposed part of the body, like the hands, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must have been cold for some time.
It probably was, but he never talked to us about it.
Well, how old were you when he died?
Oh, I don't know, I suppose 10, 12.
Okay.
Um,
So he died before your mother did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he stayed with us, I think, a couple of summers.
What was his name? Was it Erickson? No.
No, last name.
Last name and, first name or last name.
Was it Erickson or Larson? Rosalie Erickson.
What was your mom's?
Oh, your
what
mom
was your mom's?
Erickson.
Erickson, yeah.
Yeah, she was Erickson.
She was an Erickson.
She was Erickson, right?
His first name?
I don't know.
Hmm. So you were pretty young when he
We
died.
were kind of young. I don't know how old I was, but I know when he died. See, in the winter he'd go to Duluth or Superior,
Mm-hmm.
where the other girls were,
Sure.
and in the summer he came out to the farm. Not very many times,
Yeah.
but we didn't. I don't know if he could talk English very well. He probably could not,
Yeah.
you know. But I remember, there's nothing for him to do. He couldn't read a newspaper. Although we did get newspapers once in a while. We get the Minneapolis Star.
Mm-hmm.
When you had extra money, they'd apply for it. And then we'd be out it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Successful Farming, that was a magazine,
Mm-hmm.
probably still made today, I don't know. And a local or regional farm paper, The Farmer they called it. And then occasionally there'd be a magazine.
Yeah.
But whenever they had extra money, they'd order the Minneapolis Star.
Mm.
So we'd get a newspaper.
Did we get the Wallace Farmer? Wallace Farmer?
The what?
Wallace Farmer. Did you ever have that one?
No,
No.
no.
A lot of
never
people
heard
got that one. That was a good one.
No.
It was like a newspaper.
And the Successful Farming. On the back page, bright red Farmall tractor.
Yep.
Beautiful picture. And we'd look at that and think, oh, if we only had
Dream.
one of those.
Dream.
Yeah. But they had a good ad.
Hmm.
Full page.
Same
red.
one every time or a different picture every time?
Same picture.
Same picture.
Unless the model changed.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen very often, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
And then the farmer would have the comics,
Mhm.
and then we get the Minneapolis paper, and they would have comics.
So, as far as your grandpa, I mean, do you have any memories of him at all, or is it just,
Of him, my
yeah,
grandpa,
yeah,
just that when he stayed with us
just vague memories then?
for several years.
Yeah.
Other than that, we didn't know much.
But you do have was he a big guy or a little guy or?
A pretty good sized guy, if
Was
I
he?
remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, at 10 years old, everybody was pretty big.
I think he could only talk Norwegian.
So you really couldn't communicate much with him.
No. Oh, I know. I remember sitting on his lap
Yeah.
and, kind of pulling his beard and
Hmm.
pinch his skin, He'd kind of laugh about it. Remember that? We think that was funny.
Yeah.
But did you know a little Norwegian when you were growing up?
Did it what?
Did you know Norwegian at all when you were little?
No.
Your parents never talked.
No, they didn't. See, my sister had little. She talked Norwegian. They taught her Norwegian, and when she went to school the first day, she couldn't talk English.
Mm.
She had a tough time in school, and that's when my parents decided, that's it. We're only going to talk English at home, around the kids. That's what they did. That's why we didn't learn Norwegian like some of our neighbor kids. They could talk Norwegian pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
but we couldn't. Evelyn could talk Norwegian. Well, of course, she grew up. She's a little girl.
Mhm.
She knew it only Norwegian, And so anyway. And Margaret, she was probably on the edge there where they were making that transition from Norwegian to English, you know. And so she could probably understand Norwegian more than the rest of us could. But I know my parents would talk Norwegian to our neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't know it, you know. Should we learn it? That we didn't know.
Were most of the neighbors Norwegian up there?
I think they all were. We had one Polish. There's some Finnish.
Yeah,
They had their own language.
sure. That's a difficult language.
And let's see. They had a few Polish, Finnish. And then as later on, I know there's a few English-speaking people moved into the area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what nationalities they were, or where they came from, but they were English-speaking. You know,
No accents, no Norwegian accents.
no. People with the name of Lytle,
Mm-hmm.
Lytle, I believe it was, something like that.
Mm.
And McLean, Rivet,
Rivet. Really?
Joe Rivet,
Joe Rivet. Huh.
McLean, Nash Wonder.
Were there a lot of Norwegian bachelor farmers up there?
Not too many, I don't think. No.
You had some neighbors
There were a
that.
few,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. Not too many.
Yeah.
And then, as time went on, more and more people were moving into the area because they were able to get land, buy land and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And they were probably people that did other things, but they wanted to go farming.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd move into the area. They'd bring a little money with them. They'd buy stuff.
Were the trees all down at the time, or did they have to come in and take all the trees down on the land?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they had to. I think there's probably pretty much open land in that area, the way it seemed. Because I never knew about any real big trees.
Yeah.
Oaks. There were some oaks that were pretty good size. I don't know. But other trees, they were smaller. Oak, or popple, birch, and what else did we have?
But if you were going to farm the land on a homestead, didn't you have to clear it first?
I suppose they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And
Well-
those trees were used for many things, making fences, making log buildings.
Sure.
You know.
So I'm a little confused by something. So your mother and her father, your grandpa, homesteaded.
Right.
So what happened to her mother? Which would be your
Well,
grandmother.
Her mother must have died young
I see.
because the girls were on their own for a long time.
They were, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, so her mother must have died young,
I think so.
but you don't know why or what of or anything.
No, I don't.
So, and they were all girls too, no boys.
No boys,
So your grandpa had, what,
just girls.
3 girls? Was it
Oh, he
3?
had more than that. He had 3, 4, 5. I think there were 6 in all.
6
If I
girls.
remember right. Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah.
So no wonder somebody had to stay behind and stay on and homestead. But did they all grow up on the farm there? Or did they grow up somewhere else?
No, most of them grew up in Grand Forks, North Dakota,
Yeah,
Thief River Falls,
yeah.
in that area.
And then
Crookston, Minnesota.
and when did they start homesteading?
And then, well, I don't know.
When they say grew up, I mean were they farming forever on that homestead, or did they?
No, they didn't grow up on the homestead. They were adults by then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were.
And they were. Some of them were married, living in Grand Forks.
Well, but where was your mother born then?
You know, I don't know. But I think somewhere in that Grand Forks area.
Yeah. So your
Crookston maybe.
Mm-hmm. So your grandfather and your mother started a homestead after she was older.
Right.
Oh, okay.
She was still single and more or less taking care of my grandfather.
Yep.
You know.
So they decided to go
So
homestead.
then everybody else was homesteading land, so they did too.
Okay.
They built a house
Yeah.
and I suppose they had some livestock.
Sure. Well,
They had a good piece of land.
she must have been pretty handy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. So,
So she could build stuff.
yeah. And then her father, of course, he was a jack of all trades,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Those people had a rough life, hard time making a living.
Didn't you say you and your mother rebuilt a tractor one winter?
No. My mother was living at that time.
Yeah. I thought you mentioned before that the two of you, that she helped you rebuild a tractor one winter.
We built a chicken house
Well, you built a chicken house.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that was the last building on the place.
Okay.
Yeah, we built it from scratch.
What, you and your mom?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
yeah.
lumber.
Yeah.
It was a nice, now to think back, it was a pretty nice chicken house.
So she was a good builder then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, she knew how, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of those women, when they were homesteading, a lot of those women had to get out and, hey, do things.
Sure.
Not only stay in the house and cook,
Yeah.
get out and do something, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, they could drive horses and do this, do that, you know, run machinery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough people. So was it a good sized chicken coop?
Well, I don't remember dimensions or anything, but when I think about it, it seems probably the size might be like this room.
Wow, it's good size.
Yeah, I think it was. And windows on the south,
Mm-hmm.
facing south, and then the racks where the chickens could roost, and where the egg nests were, you know, a certain place.
Hmm.
Of course, the chickens said in those days were free range.
Mm-hmm.
You had to look all over. You knew where somebody, one or the other, was making a nest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they kind of disappear for a while and keep an eye on them. You'd find their nest. And once in a while, you get an egg that was too old.
Hmm. A little stinky, huh?
Yeah. But you keep track of them, they'd be all fresh eggs.
Where did you get the chicks from?
They come in the mail.
Well, that was later on, I think. Yeah, I know, we used to get to do that. But my mother was, I think they had to raise their own, hatch their own,
Yeah.
you know. But I remember we'd order chicks through the mail.
Mhm. It's always funny to have it delivered.
Yeah, the mailman would deliver the
Mailman
chicks.
would be peeping away.
Sheesh.
And it would
Try
have
to
a
do
little
that
room.
today.
Do what?
Try to have that done today. Send chickens through the mail.
Yeah. And then we'd have a brooder house with a heater in it.
Little thing that
Keep it
comes
warm.
on.
Yeah,
What kind of a heater did you have?
kerosene.
A little kerosene heater?
There'd be a little burner in there, and then it would heat, and then I think you had a canopy over that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then they'd hunker down under that to stay warm. Talking
They're so
about that,
cute.
you know, when he was little, we were vegans one time, and he got those little chicks in, you know, and he was so fascinated with them little chicks, liked them so well.
I
You
probably
remember
wanted
that?
no, but I probably wanted to bring one home.
Yes, he did. You wanted to. And then later on, a few weeks later, we were there, and then they were in a separate house then, coop,
Mhm.
Yeah.
called, I guess. And he had to see the chicks. He opens the door, gets one whiff of them smelly chicks, closest to the door. That is it for chicks.
Well, they're a little bigger at the time.
Remember
A little
that?
bigger, not
They're-
as cute.
Oh, it smelled terrible.
Yeah. I remember we used to, at the vegans, we used to take and twirl them around and put their heads underneath their wings and watch them sit there
Yeah.
for a while.
That's
And
mean.
they were cruel to the animals.
That's really mean.
They were cruel.
Jeez, get PETA on your butt. I didn't like the chickens, but I never was that cruel.
What? We didn't hurt them. We just spun them around.
Spin you around and put your head under your armpit and see what you think.
Well, anyway, the vegan kids, they thought of everything. They thought everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were real farm boys. Remember one time we went up there and John just had, that's when the boys who were pink cords, pink corduroys,
Mm-hmm.
white bucks, white shoes.
Mm-hmm.
John was all dressed up, you know, with the pink corduroys and the white shoes.
I could see a picture of that.
And Larry just couldn't wait till he got John in the barn. Initiated those shoes.
Yeah, shoot.
I could see John wearing pink.
Yeah, I can see John in pink pants and white shoes. I'd like a picture of that.
Oh, yeah. And Larry was how much older? Larry would be probably 10 years older
Then who?
than John,
That much?
probably.
Really? Hmm. Uncle Irvin. So the vegans were from that area?
Oh, yeah.
Brigla area?
Yeah, the old man, he was kind of a rounder. He had, he probably owned land some other place at one time, I don't know. But he liked bartending, he liked to have a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So he always managed to own a bar somewhere.
Yeah.
And he'd have other people operate the farm.
Yeah.
And then when Irvin got old enough, well, then he was going to be the farmer.
Sure.
So his father bought him a new 1937 Ford
Mm-hmm.
car,
Mm-hmm.
bought him that new John Deere tractor,
Yeah.
and gave him the farm,
Huh.
you know.
That had been a pretty big deal.
Oh, Irvin was riding high. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a real sport at that time. I mean, you know, he and the Hacks, some of the Holties, you know, whenever he had spare time, they go to Greenland, to the beer joint, they play cards.
Mm-hmm.
They played Pinochle. Was it Pinochle? I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
And drank a few beers.
And they drink a few beers, yeah.
Yeah.
Hacks weren't drinkers, really.
Right.
They were, but everybody could put them away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole days, they weren't really drinkers either,
Hmm.
for some reason. I don't know. There's a pretty good mix of people in Grigla at that time. People came from different parts of the country,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of them built out east, north and east of Grigla.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, west of Grigla was pretty well taken up early on
Mm-hmm.
during the homestead craze, whatever you call it.
Sure. Sure. A lot of people fail. A lot of people fail at farming.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. Oh, yeah.
Is that your stomach, Barb?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why. It feels all right.
They're
Jeez.
going away.
I ate all right. I sure felt crummy yesterday. Boy. And then he ate Mary Jo, you know. She's kind of like a mother hen. She's all over the place.
Who's that?
Mary Jo, or Bobby Jo.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, the big gal.
I've never met her.
We haven't.
No, uh-uh.